You're watching the Highlight Zone with Wayne 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
We are a good team. We are as advertised, and we can compete with anybody in the city, in the state.
We have to come out with high energy. It's the first week back with fans. We're just trying to play the best football that we can.
We're going to be in the spotlight and just kind of put up or shut up.
And so it is a great matchup, but that's what you hope for.
Oh, we got chemistry. We've been working hard all summer. We're all putting together.
I think the key to this game is just going to be who wants it more. It's going to be a dogfight, and we're ready for it.
For whom doth the victory bell toll? Sure, it's only week 3 of the season, but it's the biggest question surrounding the Summit City sports scene. And while most conferences kick off conference play tonight, the SAC, as you know, has been at it since day one, and the Legends and Chargers have both added some intrigue to a league that's generally dominated by perennial powers. It's Northside at Carroll, and it's your Highlight Zone. Game of the week, this one would not lack for offense. Carroll 2-0, Northside 1-1, and this one was a shootout from the first minute. It is the first minute. First possession for Carroll, and it's Jamison Coverstone coming off a 240-yard receiving performance. It's a touchdown. It's 7-zip Carroll. That was from, of course, Jeffrey Becker. You think Northside was wondering if they could score? The answer would be no, because they'd put up big numbers as well. That's Deuce Taylor to Adrian Sewell. We're tied at 7-7. Let's fast forward to the second quarter. It's Becker. We know about the arm. He shows off the wheels here. Becker on his way to a big night. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But this was 29-19, Carroll at the half. Third quarter, this is when the offenses heat up even more. Becker to Mason Englert. Englert, 10 catches, 306 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And oh yeah, speaking of Englert, he gets this one from Becker. Becker throws for 460 yards, 8 passing touchdowns, ran for another 506 total yards of offense for Jeffrey Becker, and 9 total TDs. Northside trying to counter. This is the freshman, Bronte Johnson, with the touchdown, but Deuce Taylor led that offense with 381 passing yards and 6 TDs. Unfortunately for Northside fans, no match for Becker and Carroll. There was over 1,100 yards of total offense and 17 TDs in this one. Carroll would take it 76-48.
Everything was working. I mean, it's a team effort. Our O-line had probably the best game they've ever played. Our receivers caught every pass I threw them, even if it was a bad ball. Everything was clicking. We had high energy on the sidelines, so I mean, it's really good.
Jeff can do everything. He's a great QB. Our defense made some stops happen. We had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. They're great.
Our kids showed tenacity. They showed the fact that they were not going to relent. We look at it this fact, and the opponent is insignificant. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's Northside, Snyder, or Luers. Okay? Our kids are going to respond the same way. They're going to do things that they have to do, and they're going to continue to play hard every minute. Okay? And so, Northside's a good football team. That's fine. But Carroll High School came out with a win.
Northside hosts Wayne next Friday, while Carroll is at Northrop. Thanks to Randy Orr and Drew Bogues. That baby got over late. We barely got that one on the air. Hey, I probably shouldn't tell you that. At Shields Field, Dwenger came into the catbird seat for the SAC, came into it sitting in the catbird seat, the 2-0 in the SAC. They were hosting Southside. First drive of the game for Southside. That's John Michael Fabini with the blocked punt. Very next play, they hand it off to one of the many Tipmen. It's Devin Tipman, the senior, with the short touchdown plunge. It's 7-0 Bishop Dwenger, and that touchdown is Jason Garrett approved. How about Mr. Fabini doing it again here? John Michael Fabini with the sack for the Saints. That would lead to this Devin Tipman after the Saints had good field position. Look at that big offensive line just kind of plow its way in as Dwenger beats Southside 33-13. At Spooler Stadium, Concordia and Snyder, the Panthers looking to bounce back after an 0-2 start to the season. They would tonight. 10-zip Snyder at the half. Third quarter, it's Trent Ryder, and the easy Ryder makes it look easy. That was a 41-yard field goal. 13-zip Snyder, and oh baby, the Panthers starting to get their mojo back. It's Snyder driving again, but Concordia's Cam Vanderbosch comes up with the interception, so momentum swing to the Cadets. But turnabout is indeed fair play, because on the very next play, it's Markel Keel with the interception for the Panthers. And then ensuing drive, we're in the fourth quarter now. Tyrese Brown finds his way to town. It's a touchdown as Concordia falls to Snyder. 27-zip Panthers get that dub. At Luers Field, the Knights put up 49 points in a Week 2 win. Could they keep it rolling against a Homestead team that won 7-zip last week? Well, second quarter, that's Braden Hardwick. Good to see him healthy, 149 yards. Homestead up 21-zip again. That's in the second quarter. Third quarter, Luers, Sir Hale taking the kickoff, and he would get all the way back to the 9-yard line. Unfortunately for the Knights, they would not score on this drive, and the Sparty Nation would like that. They'd like this even more. It's Evan Ormsby starting to get his feet under him at the quarterback position. Finds Nate Anderson, and Homestead wins at Luers 38-13 over the Knights. Final stop in the SAC, Sherwood Haydock and Company had Dwenger and Luers to start tonight. Another tough one against 2-0 Northrop. This is Sean Collins, though, had a beastly week last Friday night. He gets the touchdown run, and it's 6-0. The Generals in control. The Bruins, their quarterback, Kareem Freeman, they're picking up a first down to C.J. Davis right there, and that sets up Mr. Freeman on the keeper. Everybody keying on Demarius Cowan. Freeman with the keeper, and the Bruins take a 1-point lead at 7-6. The Generals, though, I mean, they just ran and ran and ran the football. You're going to see the touchdown here, and Wayne with a victory over Northrop. Your final in this one, 42-33 Generals over the Bruins. Well, Week 3 of SAC play is in the books, and while it's been conference play for them since day one, tonight really to start a conference for pretty much everybody else, right? In the ACAC, both Bluffton and South Adams undefeated. They'll kick off conference play in Bern. In the Northeast States, Leo and Norwell squaring off at Lions Field. If you remember, it was a 3-2 ball game last year. And in the NECC, reigning division champs going head-to-head as Eastside travels to West Noble. We got trips to Woodland, Huntington North, Columbia City, Busco, Central Noble, Southwood, Wabash, and more. We're talking a dozen games coming your way next in the zone.
There's more football outside of Fort Wayne. More Highlight Zone next. Welcome back to the Highlight Zone.
Well, they've certainly had plenty to cheer about the last few years down at South Adams. The Starfires coming off a conference championship in the ACAC as Grant Mosier's team ranked second this week in the 1A state poll. But you know what? Bluffton no slouch either. The Tigers off to a 2-0 start, much like the Starfires as they both kicked off conference play in Bern. First quarter, everybody talks about that Starfires offense, right? Well, the defense is pretty sick, too. That's Braden Gilbert with the sack. South Adams was already up 6-0. Second quarter, Lucas Hunt would find Robert Malcolm in the end zone. That's a touchdown for Daddy Kunks, but it's 18-7, South Adams in the lead. How about James Arnold hitting one of his favorite targets, Drew Stutzman, and Arnold would go for 270, 13-18 passing, 4 touchdowns. South Adams, no problem. They open conference play with a 60-70 win. At the turfed Oasis, that is Etzler Field, we got Woodland hosting Heritage. Patriots led by junior Kiel Eldridge, the 6'5 pass rusher. Oh, he's got an offer from Purdue. Again, only a junior. It's 7-zip Heritage after Deontay Cobbins takes the toss and in. That's in the first quarter. Second quarter, he's not just a defensive player. Eldridge, he's 6'5, throw it up to him. It's a good idea. Heritage led 14-zip on that 26-yard touchdown strike. After a muff punt, Woodland gets its first score of the season. That's Jacob Snyder to Austin Stevenson. It's a 26-yard TD, but the Patriots strike again. Gabe Pritchard for the touchdown as Heritage gets that win. First in the Casey Coltman era, 26-19. In the Northeast State, a rematch of one of the best games we saw all last year. In 2019, it was Leo beating Norwell 3-2. That was at the Courtyard down in Ossian. Third quarter, it's Landon Livingston. Oh, kids got offers from 3 schools in the Big Ten, stuffing the run. 14-zip Leo after 3. Fourth quarter, it's Ethan Crawford picking up the first down for the Purple Pride. Eventually leads to this. Carson McCauley with a field goal, and Leo goes on to beat Norwell 17-0.
You know, I think we just played great. The defensive team really did well. When we had to, stop the ball on 3rd and 4th downs, we did it, and we just that's what helped us. That's what got us to our shutout.
We knew that they were a good defensive team, and that that they would make it very difficult on us to move the ball. And so we knew we were going to have to play really good defense tonight, and our kids stepped up and did that.
Last year, East Noble ran the table in the NE8. The Knights ranked second in 4A this week, and they were at Huntington North. First quarter action, Justin Marcellus making sweet music like Winston Marcellus. It's a touchdown, 7-0, East Noble out to the lead. Huntington North trying to make some things happen here on the ground. Zach Hubbard around and gets clocked right there. Second quarter action, Reed Johnson to the air for the Vikings, but Alex Newhouse is there for the pick. And then Dalton Stinson has done a fine job as the new quarterback for East Noble this season. He hooks up with Damian Williams. East Noble wins a good one at Craig Baum, 28-21. After no games the first 2 weeks, Belmont in action for the first time this fall. The Braves at 2-0 Columbia City. And Columbia City, man, oh, they look so good on that turf with the speed. It's Greg Bolt to Garrett Geiger. G-squared in for the touchdown. He had himself a big night. And to think Bolt can do more than just throw the football, you'd be right. Greg Bolt, the touchdown here on the carry, and Columbia City wins big, 47-6.
I mean, with it being senior night, it was awesome being able to come out and seeing everybody play hard, and it was, awesome come out on the new field. Second win, it was awesome.
We all push each other. I'd say we're honestly all leaders. Our seniors are great leaders. I feel like I do a decent job leading. I feel like we all just kind of lead, and we're there for each other.
Let's go to Turtletown. No sign of Oscar, but the Eagles did show up to play last week in a 43-zip win. First quarter, they get at it right here. Wyatt Marks, only a sophomore. The touchdown makes it 14-zip Eagles, and they weren't done, nor was Mr. Marks. It's a touchdown here in the second quarter. Busco stakes itself to a 21-zip lead. And then Riley Burhoff, we're talking Busco throwing the football to Nick Nondorf, who had a big week last week. It's a touchdown as Busco tops Garrett 44-15. A couple of reigning champs in this one. Eastside won the NECC Small Division title last year. West Noble won the NECC Big Division title. Zachary Beer getting the handoff here, but the Eastside D, Todd Mason, has to love it. They're swarming and making plays. Of course, the offense is what a lot of people talk about when you talk about Eastside. Laban Davis, the junior, to Wade Miller with another great connection. Almost a repeat that we saw last week in Monroe for your highlight zone gem of the night. And then Braxton Pruitt, one of the top juniors in the NECC. Yeah, the forced fumble recovered by West Noble, where you're going to see Dylan Breedemeyer in traffic for the touchdown as Eastside making a statement with a nice 34-0 win. How about a little Central Noble action as they were taking on Fairfield? And we picked this one up in the second quarter. Corey Lance of Fairfield to Quinn Kitson, and Fairfield up 14-6. Lance, though, back to pass, and he is sacked. And it's 14-6 at half. Third quarter, Sawyer Yoder trying to make something happen, but he is hit, and it hit hard on third down. You're going to see a long run here by Matt Thacker's team. It's Corey Lance doing Corey Lance type things as Fairfield goes into Central Noble and wins 32-6. In the Three Rivers Conference Senior Night, as reigning champ Southwood ranked 4th this week in the 1A state poll, and guess what? They were taking on North Miami. You worried about their offense, you worried about the defense, maybe you overlooked special teams, because on the opening kick, this is Connor Rich, and Rich cashing in. 78-yard touchdown on the opening kick. You can't score faster than that. The Knights up 7-0, and they would keep it rolling. Alex Farr, the senior quarterback, an 18-yard touchdown run there. 14-zip Knights, and then it's Farr hooking up with, Carson Rich. This is a touchdown. Southwood had a bunch of them. They win it 55-0 over North Miami. Staying in the TRC, Wabash at Manchester. This game originally scheduled to be played at Wabash, but they needed a little more time to get their new turf ready. So, Wabash up 28-21. It's Joseph Leland to Bryant Boggs. That's a first down for the men in black and orange as they eventually bring them down. How about Wabash's Isaiah Ice water in his veins from 1 yard out. It's a touchdown. Wabash, the Apaches up 34-21. You're going to see the defense now come up with a fumble recovery as Wabash takes down Manchester 44-29. In the Northern Lakes Conference, Warsaw at the Rock Pile in Plymouth. The Tigers looking to bounce back after a loss to Michigan City last Friday night. That one was at Fisher Field. This one's on the road, and in the first quarter, Julius Jones down at the 1. Warsaw quarterback Aaron Green would take it in on the next play for a touchdown as Warsaw gets back to its winning ways, 28-14 over Plymouth. The final stop, we got Northridge at Wawasee. Now, Wawasee won just 2 games all of last year, but they came into this one already 2-0 in 2020. They outscored their opponent 73-0. Part of the reason was Parker Young, but he did not get any time to throw. He was sacked there, and then Dom Crowder would force his way in for Northridge as Northridge beats Wawasee 20-0. We got more Highlight Zone, including your Gem of the Night, next.
It's senior night. We love our seniors. Stay tuned to the Highlight Zone. Go Knights!
Hey, last week it was Eastside's Laban Davis to Wade Miller for a diving touchdown in the quarter to the end zone as your Peter Franklin Jewelers Gem of the Night. Tonight, it's Jamison Coverstone from Jeffrey Becker. Becker had 9 total touchdowns. We'll see you next week.